today's topic is going to be basically, I would say, the last day that I'm probably specifically going to talk about SPS, and it's generally just a typical day of SPS and being blind at the same time. So then the future ones will be more, more about the blindness than the SPS. Being blind, however, has entirely changed the course of my SPS and has made it not exponentially worse, but it has made it worse. Having to have somebody walk you around is entirely a different sensation altogether, and at least it makes me very tense, even though I don't realize that I'm being tense. So every morning I basically wake up and my entire body hurts, because I think from walking with anybody, and it's not that I don't trust them, I think that if I ever get a walking guide dog, that it will be the same way for a while. I think it's just a matter of me needing to relax while I walk and know that it's going to be okay. But there's this part of me that's torn now, because I have this muscle disorder that causes me to sometimes lose my balance and have spasms that I can't react to quick enough sometimes, and then now I can't see to try to catch myself, where before I would often catch myself against the wall, in the kitchen or on the island or different places in the house. I know my way around the house well enough to probably catch myself, but there's this concern whenever I'm upright and walking that I think in the back of my head I have to get rid of, that there's this potential that I might accidentally hurt myself. And I don't want to further endure my family into any more pain than they've already been through this whole entire summer, which we're going to get into starting tomorrow. It's going to go a little heavy. So I'm going to try to keep this one a little light and upbeat, I suppose, but basically it's very, very tricky. And the walking cane has also made both of my arms and tired, especially my neck. And I'm not even sure if the cane is the neck is the cane's fault, or the neck is the fault of me not looking forward all the time. Like, I'm looking at what I know where the camera is, but I can't actually see it. So when we're watching a movie, or I'm listening to music, or I'm listening to a book on tape, I'm just listening. So I think I have a tendency to constantly look down, like I would be looking at a phone, which is ironic because whenever I did used to use the phone, I would always try to hold it up here and keep my posture straight for the sake of my posture. And at work, I was always very cognizant of my posture and where my hips were, and balancing back and forth so that I wasn't standing on one hip for more often than the other hip. So it's all very ironic that now I'm stuck with these two unfortunate things that do not mesh well together. So it's going to be a very interesting ride. I hope to this point that if you've had any SPS questions, you've asked them. If anybody joins later and has SPS questions, please leave comments. I'll try to have my daughter go back up and make sure that I'm answering everybody's questions and comments. I really just wanted to share my story so that therapeutically, I think I could get it just out, pull it out of me. We actually are seeing therapists, the whole family, which has been very therapeutic. But the best thing I will say, and that if I can give anybody any guidance if they're not seeing a therapist, is she has recommended to us to remember that there are people out there that want to help. And when people say they want to help, they genuinely mean it, but they don't know how to help or what that means to you. So you actually genuinely have to tell people, you know what would be great is if you could bring me dinner tonight. It's been a crazy 3 weeks. I can't see to make dinner. My husband is working this weekend. If you could bring me some subs, macaroni salad, and some cookies, it'll be a pleasant surprise for him when he gets home from work, and dinner's done. People genuinely do want to help. I have sent out many texts to my neighbors asking for little things, and now some of them have a tendency to tell me they're going to the grocery store and do I need any few items that maybe we forgot to Instacart for the week. So it's really been helpful, ironically, but please remember that your neighbors, your friends, your family, your community, they genuinely do want to help, and I can't say enough how much this community has pulled together for me. But this neighborhood specifically, if we ask for help, it has been given. What we've asked for has been answered, if you will, for lack of a better way to put it. So don't be afraid to ask for help. That was a fear of mine. I hated asking for help. I've always hated asking for help, even at work. Sometimes I would do stuff that just because it wasn't that it was easier to do myself, but I knew that I would do it right and I wouldn't have to correct it. And it's just, I didn't want to have to ask somebody else to do it because maybe they were in the middle of something. It doesn't matter. I've always hated asking for help. So it was very hard for me to all of a sudden have to flip the coin. I was always the one that was helping other people, I felt like. So to have to flip the coin and ask for help was very hard. But I promise you that you will not regret it, because there really are genuinely more people out there than you think that are willing and able to help you and want to help you if they know that you need it. So reach out to people if you need help, I guess would be the goal of today's little episode. Just that the blindness has made my SPS a whole different ballgame. Tomorrow we're probably going to start talking about the blindness, but if I've learned anything up until this point over the last 4 months of tragedy, has been to remember that people will help you if you ask. So don't be afraid to ask, because you would be surprised. There's a lot of craziness in this world, but there is also a ton of kindness. You just have to reach out and ask for it.